Well, hello, friends and neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here. Welcome down to the Whiskey Nook. Time to shoot a little video with you guys. And normally I rate one and then maybe compare it to another that I've rated before. But when I thought, I haven't shot George Dickel rye yet, I realized I don't think I've done a review of Bulleit rye. And these guys should be put head to head. So when we come back, we'll be nosing and tasting a couple of sourced ryes. So if you've got a rye, maybe go grab it, get a drink, get a pour, and we'll give you our thoughts when we come back. 3, 4. Hey, thanks for staying with me here. I'm pretty excited about this because if you follow the channel at all, I like rye, and I really have had a wide variety of rye. Canadian, of course, excellent. There's some excellent Canadian ryes, American ryes, but I've had some international ryes. Actually, I've got that Millstone I got to get at and review for you guys too. So this is actually a bit of an area where, I don't know enough, but I've had a couple of tastes. So today on deck, we're going to talk about George Dickel rye. George Dickel, and I shall say right up front, both of these bottles are sourced. And I don't think either of them, well, maybe Bulleit's trying to hide it, but George Dickel's certainly not trying to hide it. They say kind of all around it, you do any kind of lookup, this is not their liquid. However, they source it from MGP. It is that 95% rye, 5% barley mix that MGP is famous for, really. And then they do treat it to their specific sugar maple charcoal filtration process. So this is MGP, probably pretty young, and then it is filtered through that sugar maple process. For Bulleit, I know Bulleit now has a distillery. It's great. I don't think we're drinking any of their liquid yet. But this is also sourced from MGP, and it's also 95.5. However, it hasn't gone through, that signature George Dickel filtration. So it'd be pretty interesting to see, how does this compare? So let's compare them. Let's start on the nose. Bright, lots of on that edge of herbal, grass, dill. Not excessively dill. Let me back that off a bit. It's just that it's got some bright rye grain note. A little light sweetness. Can't get at spice yet in the nose. Let's try the Bulleit. Okay, now I have to take back a little bit what I said. In comparison, very similar notes, but it has more grass, more dill, and a little bit of anise. Yeah, a little bit of anise in the nose. And in just back and forth comparison, this is a little sweeter, little candy red apple. Very similar, very. But in this, I'm getting a little bit of anise and a little more dill. All right, let's try the palate. I'll try the George Dickel first. I really like good, bold rye notes. It's still got some nice caramel, toffee. Nice peppering coming through. It's pretty. I swallowed that pretty quick, so I really should try it again to see how much is going to come out of the palate. It was coming from the early finish. Definite some cinnamons now to add, the little peppering spice. But I definitely am also getting some cooked caramels or even brown sugars. There, the spicing, nice coming up, even feeling it hug in my chest. I like that in rye. It's bold, a little brash. I think if you're not used to rye and you go at this like a sipper, maybe not in the first sip, but already now you're gonna get some hug and some burn. It's something that I like in rye. Okay, trying the Bulleit. A little spicier on the nose. Palate was a little drier. Spicing far closer to dark cinnamons, a little bit of clove. And a little more drying on the finish. Parching, tacky a little bit. And oak. Okay, a little more oak. I got to try it again. A little sweet, a little bit of, I'm going to say light banana. If I say that, I think people might be put off. And if you follow the channel, I'm not a big fan of banana in whiskey, but that's a good way to describe a fairly light, sweet, but very ripe, very mellow fruit. Yeah. Easier in the palate, a little sweeter. Spicing is a little more mellow. Yeah, it is a little more mellow. Huh. Still getting a bit of that light licorice or anise in the nose. Yeah. A little bitter, but more oak, more deep and dark wood type spice for me. What an interesting head-to-head. I've of course had these before, and I don't know what your market's like, but in my market, they're both decent value, but actually the Dickel is often a fair amount less than the Bulleit. And in this sitting, I'm going to give the nod to George Dickel. I maybe it's just that charcoal sugar maple filtering, but it has taken some of the rough out of the Bulleit. Now they're both rye. They both give you that hug. You're gonna get some grass and dill. You're gonna get cinnamon. You're gonna get like they're a lot more similar than they are apart. But in this straight back and forth, and I'm a bit surprised because I can tell that this Bulleit is a bit beefier, and I like beefy rice. But I feel this treatment that Dickel's done here hasn't removed the flavors. It's kind of lengthened them, it's kind of softened them maybe, but almost like it sugared them a little bit, but it's not in a bad way. So, these are fine. They're sourced, they're inexpensive. I don't think they're going for a real craft market, but this is decent rye. And I have to say, like for what I can get Dickel for on the shelf up here, that's a great price. And if you like rye, go for it. If you're looking for a sipper, neither one of these, unless you're kind of a rye head like me, really is like a pour and eat and sip. Not really. But they make fantastic cocktails. Like a nice Manhattan or old fashioned. Like these are really good backbone in a cocktail. Or neat if you're kind of a rye geek like me. Hey, thanks for dropping in, for checking me out down here. And hopefully that head-to-head, I guess I should rate them. So nothing complicated here. Maybe 3 1/4 over here. And then this has just become a 3-star. But having said that, I actually like them because I like rye. So, really let's bump them both up a little bit. This is a good 3.5, 3 1/4 kind of thing. So thanks for dropping in, and you guys have a great week.